Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Chicago. I finally made it out of work here. We've taken the afternoon off because it's 50 degrees in Chicago. Warmest day we've had since the beginning of the year. We got happy Friday the 13th, 2026. And there's the Wrigley building. We're Michigan Avenue. We're just north of Water Street. I'm going to head over towards Westtown, Wicker Park. I want to do a follow-up on the church over there that's being adaptively reused and added to housing there. And it's St. Bonafice. St. Bonafice. I want to check out St. Bonafice on Noble Street. I already posted that rerun from 2 years ago, and then we'll just head up Milwaukee Avenue, and then I'll probably catch the 606 bike path and head back to Lincoln Park here. But hey, good afternoon there, Sabrina Suburban Garland. Della, happy Friday. Yeah, Friday the 13th, Della. I'm doing a little later than usual lunch walk. We got 50 degrees here. I hope you're having a nice warm day where you're at there too. And Izzy, how you doing there, Eric? Rob on the road, Wayne. Yeah, Della, it is beautiful. That's why I took the afternoon off. And we're going to head down to over to Wicker Park. And I don't know if you got time to watch. You can watch the reruns. We're going to head west of the river there. And so I'll cross this way. And actually, I'm not going to wait. We'll do this. And I'll cross here where you're not supposed to cross, but there's hardly any traffic here. This is Wacker Drive, and this is Michigan Avenue, where we always usually stream. There's the Wrigley building and the Tribune there. They look nice in the sun there, looking up North Michigan Avenue. There's the Trump Tower, second tallest building in Chicago. Just waiting for the light here. There's the Chicago Architecture Center. Again, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, we'll say above 10 degrees Celsius. Not a bad time here. We'll head across here. There's really not a crosswalk here, but you can do it if you know what you're doing. And hey, print your own photos. Yeah, they got the photos here. So here, let's head down to the Riverwalk. There's the ice cubes. How you doing? There's the ice on the Chicago River in front of the Trump Tower. We'll see what the algorithm does with that. There's the water taxi. Hey, people waiting for architectural cruise boats. People are going to take an architectural cruise February the 13th, Friday the 13th. They got a photo shoot. Look, they're doing a fashion shot there. Here's Lower Wacker Drive. Remember the Blues Brothers? Yeah, they're doing the fashion shoot right there with the ice in the river in front of the Trump Tower. Why not? Yeah, Della. So hey, you guys will have to come back up to Chicago this summer. And here comes an architectural cruise boat here. Look at that. We can go back to the dunes. Go back to the Indiana dunes. But hey, here's the Wrigley building and the Tribune here. There's the DeSable Michigan Avenue Bridge. Here's the ice on the Chicago Riverwalk. It's melting because we got 50 degrees. And here we got a fully loaded architectural cruise boat in February. People warm enough to take an architectural cruise. So hey, we'll wave and say hello to everybody. There's Linnea. Watch Linnea go through the ice. Let's watch Linnea break through the ice here. Look at it. Hey, it's going slow. How you doing? Hey, breaking through the ice there. The icebreaker. Yeah. The ice-breaking architectural cruise boat, Chicago, Illinois. Look at that.
Now, we're getting ready to approach the dock. If you have an adult beverage,
so they're going to approach the dock. They already took their cruise, and they're going to pick up the next batch of tourists or people touring the river there. So hey, Mike Malone thinks I'm a shit person. So Mike Malone, you know, do you just call random people shitty? How does that work for you? Do you run a business? Do you want us to treat your business like you treat me? Maybe you work for a company. Maybe you don't have a job. Maybe that's why you're here trolling me. Yeah, it's great. We'll keep an eye on Mike Malone there. We'll see if he heckles us a second time. Here's, hey, Mike, I bet you like this building here. There, say something mean about that building. I bet you can't. Hey. Yeah, that was my walk to work. So I went to work. I have a day job. I'm taking the afternoon off. I was planning on taking the afternoon off anyway because we took a half day on Tuesday. We went to the auto show. And this is what I do. I'm a live streamer. I have a regular day job. And most of what I do is walk from Lincoln Park, where I live, to the downtown. If you follow long enough, people hate my guts because I always walking on the north side and I don't go to the west and south side of Chicago at night, so maybe you can hate my guts too. You see how much it affects my mood. Here's State Street. Here's the Marina Towers, and here's the Chicago Brew House. We're gonna have a good day. We're gonna seize the day. You're just jealous that I got the afternoon off and we got 50 degrees here in Chicago, and we're gonna head to Wicker Park. I know people, I'm just waiting for somebody to say, I know somebody was mugged at gunpoint in the West Loop earlier today or yesterday. It's all over the news. So maybe they'll get me too. Who knows? I don't have much money in my wallet, so, you know, will it be worth it? This will become evidence. You guys will be my witness. They'll try to steal my phone. As I film them, it'll all go into the cloud. It'll become evidence. You'll see me like bleeding out in the street. It is Friday the 13th. But hey, look at the seagull. Hey, the seagull's eating a fish. Seagull's eating a fish on top of the ice there. Look at that. Ernie would like that. Look at the nature here on the Chicago River there. There's your dog-eat-dog world there. Look at the sea. Let's get closer to the seagull. Let's see if we can get it eating this fish here. How'd you catch that fish, seagull? Here's a seagull eating a fish on a piece of ice here in the Chicago River. This is the best thing I've seen all day. It's saying mine, mine, mine. It's making sure no other seagulls gets that fish. I want to see that seagull eat this fish. Yeah, thanks Mimi. Thanks for backing me up there. I try to be his best. Look at that. So that fish, that seagull is trying to swallow that fish whole. So you see where we're at here. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to the Chicago Riverwalk. We got Friday the 13th, 2026. We got 50 degrees. It's Friday. So here, look at that seagull eating the fish. How you doing? I'm streaming here. That's why I'm talking to my phone here. So here. Yeah, isn't that neat? That's great. Yeah, get that. That's awesome. Thanks. Hey, you should get it too. That's good. So here, we'll keep going here. So here's the Chicago River. We saw 2 hot tub boats, Della. When was that? Wednesday night? Wednesday night we saw 2 hot tub boats, or was that last night? Maybe that was last night. I get all the days confused here. Yeah, Chicago. Well, hey, you're going to see some good Chicago stuff today. If you have some time, I'm going to head to the West Town and Wicker Park. I don't normally get over that way. And we'll see if anything's new happening that way. Colorado, how you doing there? Smith and Lewinsky's, yeah. Smith and Wolinski. Smith and Wolinski. Yeah, I know what you mean there. That's the nice steak place. That's the Marina Towers. Corncob buildings. It's corn, a big lump with knobs. We got the juice right here in Chicago, right next to the ice. There's another seagull. Hey, oops, sorry, people jogging here. Gets crowded. It's getting crowded on the Riverwalk. There's the pigeons only got twigs. They don't got fish. There's the State Street Bridge. South Africa, how you doing? So I don't fish in the river. I see a lot of other people fishing in this river. Now, I know there's a lot of mercury, not only in this river, but other rivers. And so you can eat fish out of this river. Just don't eat a lot of fish out of this river because it might have contaminants, mercury. All the rivers in the United States have issues with that. And, oh, good. Ernesto and Carlos are on King Drive. They're in Bronzeville. Yeah, if you want to check out, Ernesto says they're going to 45th Street. They're going to film the Marx Brothers house, you know, Groucho Marx. And that's like a block away from Louis Armstrong lived on 44th Street. We've gone down to 44th Street. We've got reruns of the Louis Armstrong historic residence in Chicago. Of course, Louis Armstrong lived in New York, as did the Blues Brothers in Florida and other places. Louis Armstrong was from New Orleans, but he came to Chicago, then went to New York, came back to Chicago, went to New York. And the Nat King Cole grew up, or spent part of his childhood in Bronzeville. He went to his house too, but he didn't stay in Chicago either. But there's all these connections. Same with the Marx brothers. So yeah, you can watch Ernesto Chicago Nuggies and Carlos, who's they stream on TikTok. That's great. So here we're on the Chicago Riverwalk. We're going to head to Wicker Park. We're on YouTube here, so we're not competing with their audience there. It's great. So I grew up in Indiana. I'm not a native Chicagoan. I grew up in the countryside of southern Indiana, southeast Indiana, between Indianapolis and Cincinnati. I moved to Chicago in 1999. This is my 27th winter in Chicago. I lived over half my life in Chicago. But I'm not a native Chicagoan, nor do I claim to be. And I'm a transplant. You can blame me for all the gentrification and increase in housing prices. It's all my fault because I moved here. I was the tipping point in 1999. Here's everybody else moved out. And I moved in. Here's Clark Street, Chicago, Illinois. But when I moved here, this Riverwalk was not here. Like Ernie and I were talking about it. They built it in like 2009, around there. And then they expanded it even after that. It's growing larger, and hopefully it'll get larger. South Korea, how you doing there? Yeah, sunny day. Yeah, tequila. That's why we'll see. I bet you there'll be people sitting outside on Milwaukee Avenue. We'll go over there. We're going to head up to Wicker Park. So I just got to get across the North Branch. I want to see the construction progress of the casino from Halstead. We've seen it from the river. We saw it last night. And we saw that water taxi, but I want to see what the casino and the hotel start to look like from Halstead, the other side. And since the Chicago Avenue Bridge is now removed, we can't cross there. So I want to get to Chicago and Milwaukee eventually. Avenue in Chicago. I know it's confusing. Milwaukee Avenue in Chicago. Where are we at? Wisconsin Street. Antarctica. Hey, thanks for tuning in from Antarctica. That's great. That's why I have to say planet Earth. Sometimes people tune in from all over the galaxy. Toronto, how you doing there? Average house price in LA is $1 million. Yeah, that's amazing. Isn't that amazing? You know, and every like today, the inflation numbers come out. The Fed says, "Oh, there's no inflation. We're almost down to 2.4." That's not what it feels like. Maybe billionaires don't notice the inflation, but the rest of us do. I think that's what's going on. Hey, people jogging in shorts here. 50 degrees. What is it? Over 10 degrees Celsius. See, people jogging in spring clothes here. Hawaii, aloha. How you doing there? Yeah. Winnipeg. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in from Canada. We got people that tune in from Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Toronto. Yeah, thanks for tuning in from Winnipeg. Got a nice hockey team. Here's Chicago Cut Steakhouse. We're in Chicago, Illinois, land of Lincoln. Yesterday was Lincoln's birthday. So we talked about Honest Abe there yesterday. London, how you doing? It's 50 degrees. So this is the warmest day we've had since January 1st. So if you think this looks cold because there's ice in the river, Ernesto and I were walking when it was below zero, when it was -6. So it's 56 degrees warmer than that. And I'm not even wearing my winter coat. Got my Blackhawks hat on. Just got a sweatshirt. It's not too bad. I got food all over my sweatshirt here. So this bridge is called the Wells Street Bridge. This is the Wells Street Bridge. It's the Basque Bridge, Chicago, Illinois. It's a drawbridge. It lives for the sailboats. Same with the South Street. All these bridges are Basque drawbridges. They got a counterweight. They swing like a teeter-totter. They lift on both sides, and they can lift both sides independently. The Chicago Riverwalk, Chicago River, 50 degrees, not too bad. So we got 1:43 in the PM. Hey, thanks for the gift there. Thanks, Chicago, let's go. Appreciate it. Thanks for supporting good content. I try to be like PBS. We try to talk about history and city planning, how things change over time, cultural things, or just what's happening in the news, which is hard now. And then I start railing about politics. No one wants to hear that. I'm not Joe Rogan, or is that his name? Here's Merchandise Mart. I think I am in my own mind, but I'm not. Here's Merchandise Mart. That's fine. The countryside's fine too. There's nothing wrong with the country. My dad lives in the countryside. A lot of my relatives live in the countryside. Some of them in the mountains. It's beautiful, you know. It's nice to visit, get out of the city. There's positive, negatives to everything. The city's not for everybody, but you can watch it virtually. See, you can stay in the country. You can just watch me walk around. You don't have to waste any money. You don't have to get mugged. You can see what the city looks like through my phone here. So, thanks for watching, seeing how the city slickers live here. Here's the Merchandise Mart. This was the largest building in the world when it was built. This was built in 1930. The Great Depression had already, or the stock market had already crashed. They decided to go forward with it. Marshall Field and a lot of business leaders of that time in the 1920s. That's what all those giant heads are over there. They pulled their money. All those business leaders lost a fortune in the stock market crash of 29. So Joe Kennedy, the father of JFK and RFK, he famously sold his stocks before the crash and still had cash and was able to buy a bunch of stuff cheaply during the Great Depression. And the Kennedy family bought this. And there's somebody fishing. See people fish on the Chicago River. That's great. So there they got another fashion shot going. So since they're having a fashion shoot over there, we'll let them have their... I won't interfere with them. We'll cross the Chicago River here at Franklin Street. There's a nice view to the Sears Tower if we go up here. We pretty much did this walk at night earlier in the week, but now we're seeing it in the middle of the day there. Yeah, it looks good in the sun. That's why I lucked out that I got the afternoon off here. So we're gonna. I won't do an evening live stream. This is gonna be my last live stream of the day, but we might live stream for several hours here because I'm taking a much longer route home and I'm going much further west to see some part of the city that I usually never show you here. Look at this. So there's the Sears Tower. Some people call it the Willis, but I call it the Sears, the historical name. It's 110 stories tall. Tallest building in Chicago, Sears Tower. We're looking south on Franklin Street. There's the pink line. Look at the pink line. CTA train crossing your classic scene of Chicago. Thanks for tuning in. So here we'll cross the street here. And yeah. Sears Tower. Wicker Drive. See how it wraps. They're working on the Lake Street Bridge, so you can't cross that. Stockyards, yeah. Now that's part of Chicago's hit. That still goes on. You know, people always ask me to go to O Block, and they want to see the scarier side of the city. But you know, the South Side's vast. The West Side's vast. There's wealthy areas on the South Side. There's impoverished areas on the South Side. You know, but yeah, we've gone to the Union Stockyards. I've got reruns of the Union Stockyard Gate. There's a firefighter memorial there. A lot of firefighters died over the years putting out fires in the Union Stockyards. That's in Canaryville, south of Bridgeport. We're in the Loop here. We're on the Franklin, crossing over to Orleans. There's the confluence, Wolf Point. They built these about 5 years ago. And we'll walk along this riverfront esplanade. We got 50 degrees, not bad at all. Hey, thanks for tuning in for the first time. Cryptos. What do you think about the big Bitcoin sell-off? You think it's going to come back? I know they have these drawdowns every once in a while. It has to be harrowing to go with these ups and downs. I just thought the crypto strategic reserve would have helped out more, but maybe they were waiting for the price to drop before they bought up a bunch of crypto reserve. Or I think they did. I think the crypto reserve is just what the government seized from, you know, illicit activities, and they just kept the Bitcoin that they seized from people that they put in jail. So here's Franklin Street. There's the merchandise mart, Chicago, Illinois, United States of America, planet Earth. Here, let's head around here. Yeah, Blue Bottle Coffee. There's the Blue Bottle Coffee right there. Yeah, I don't know much about that brand. I don't, you know, there's Collectivo near where I live in Lincoln Park. Of course, Starbucks is everywhere, but Blue Bottle, I think there's several Blue Bottles in the downtown area. I don't know if there's any in other neighborhoods. See, there's elevators, ADA accessibility if you need to use an elevator to get down here. There's the Green Line heading across the Lake Street Bridge. Yeah, I'm a socialist. What's wrong with that? Jesus Christ was a socialist. So, hey, look at, here's the pink line. There's the pink line, the green line. Yeah, 1060 West Addison. We'll go to Wrigley Field. That's the address that they gave for the Blues Brothers. They said, Blues Brothers. They said, where you live? They said, 1060 West Addison. The stupid Illinois Nazis were the only ones that showed up there. And they were like, ah, they tricked us. Wolf Point. So this is an office tower. This is residential. People live. There's famous live streamers or famous content creators in Chicago that live in this building. Here's South Branch. There's the Sears Tower. There's the Sears Tower right there. This is the Chicago River. Yeah, interesting walking routes. The London Underground. So the London Underground was at the Tube. Is at the subway system in London. Chicago has two subways, but most of our trains are above ground. The elevated trains Chicago's known for. And that's what we just saw across there. That's the green line, the pink line. Hey, walking the dog. So you see this Y? They use this Y. This Y, they use this. It's the confluence of the river. So you see this, these three rivers converge here. And there's the Salesforce Tower, just under 1,000 feet tall. This is the North Branch, Chicago River. This is the South Branch. The water flows that way. They reversed it. The water flows out of the lake, goes down to the Illinois River to the Mississippi. So all this river goes out to Mississippi through New Orleans, even though it's this close to Lake Michigan. Isn't that amazing? Look at this nice seating wall. People enjoying the sun here on a 50-degree day. Happy Friday the 13th. Yeah. Cities are not obsolete. That's an insult to all the people that live in cities. What if the internet goes down? What are you going to do? You got to come to the marketplace. What? You think everybody's going to live in the country? Then the country will become like city. You know? Yeah, I should be fishing. I know. I should just take the day off and fishing. We saw some. I don't have the patience for fishing. I like walking around. So look, here's the bridge up in the upright position. That used to be cold storage. Now it's residential. They converted it. We'll go over the Dave Matthews Bridge here. I was referring to cities as a type of marketplace. Cities, you know, think the stock exchanges, Wall Street and the Board of Trade, the marketplace for trading commodities and futures and stocks are concentrated in cities. The market for distributing goods, most of your shipping, airports, transportation hubs are cities. How do you think global commerce works? There's ports and cities. People need to work at these ports. I guess you think humans are obsolete because everything's going to be run by AI and robots, which you might be right, which means we're going to need guaranteed basic income because no one's going to have a job and they're going to need us to consume. Or maybe AI will eliminate all the humans like Terminator, and they'll realize that humans are obsolete. Not if cities are obsolete, then humans are obsolete. So I guess that's what you're saying. You might be right. You might be correct, because if cities are obsolete, I would argue that humans are obsolete because cities are made up of humans. So you're saying some humans that live in cities are obsolete. I get what you're saying. So hey, thanks for the good comment there. Here, we'll cross Kinsey Street, Chicago, Illinois, 50 degrees. We got 1:53 in the PM. I took the afternoon off at work, and we're gonna head over to Wicker Park and enjoy this. Seize the day. Seize the day. Any day might be your last. Think with Drew Drzezinskis. We met him last February the 14th for St. Valentine's Day Massacre. And tomorrow we're going to try to check out the fireworks at Navy Pier for Valentine's Day. Hopefully the weather will be as nice as now. We'll see. But here we're going to cross from River North to River West. There's the old Blommer chocolate factory. It's now gone. Remember when you could smell the chocolate from the Blommer chocolate factory here in Chicago, here at 350 North Orleans? This is Kinsey Street. So this is the Dave Matthews bus bridge incident, Kinsey Street. In 2004, Dave Matthews Band bus, they dropped off the band, and the bus driver was trying to save time, and he drove the bus across this bridge and really slow, and he thought no one would notice that he dumped the contents of the waste of the bus, because there's a grate. It goes straight down to the river. You can look straight down. Well, there was an architectural tour boat going across here, and the poor people in the boat got sprayed with Dave Matthews Band feces, and it was a big scandal. And this is Harry Weiss, the architectural design. This was designed in 1988. This is residential. He wanted it to look like a sailboat. There's a metro train going into Ogilvie Station. Here's the bridge in the upright position. The reason this bridge is in an upright position most of the time, this used to be a railroad bridge. They don't use it anymore. It used to go all the way to Navy Pier, went underneath Merchandise Mart. They leave it up, it still works, but they only close it once a year for testing. I've never seen it down. But the Chicago Avenue Bridge is completely closed. That construction crane, we'll see it from Halstead here. We're going to cross Canal Street. There's a metro train. Yeah, well, oh, it's just the locomotive. It's just like the oops. There, it's got some diesel engine there. This metro train's going to go to a different track and pick up a different line of cars out of Ogilvie. WLS, yeah, it's good. Thanks for tuning in here. I'm missing some comments here. Hold on. America. No, Chicago has a significant Irish American ancestral population, as well as Polish, African American, Latino, Mexican, Hispanic. We're pretty much 30% Hispanic, Latino, 30% African American, Black. We're about 30% Caucasian white, and we're about 10% Asian, which includes South Asia, India, China, Japan, Korea, Indonesia, all the, Southeast Asian countries. And I don't know about Australia. Which is a different continent. Look at this American Lincoln technology. What is that thing? Here we're going underneath these metro tracks, and we're going to head over towards West Town here, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, the chocolate factory. This is the Blommer chocolate factory coming up here. And you used to be able to smell the chocolate, but they were bought out finally last year, the year before. They finally closed. When I was streaming in 2023 on TikTok, this was still in operation. You could still get chocolate chunks there, and you could smell the chocolate and see them unloading the materials or the supplies, No, we just crossed the west side, so we're on the west side of Chicago. We were on the south side on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we were in Chinatown. We were in 22nd Street in Wentworth, which is the north side, the south side, but we were technically in the south side of Chicago. They got the Chinese New Year coming up in same day as Fat Tuesday, February 17th. But the parade's not going to be until March, I don't think. There's the Blommer Chocolate Factory here, Chicago, Illinois, United States of America. Chicago's called the Windy City because it goes back to the World Columbian Exposition. It goes back to around 1892, 1893, when several cities in the United States were competing for the World's Fair, like people compete for the Olympics or the FIFA World Cup. And Chicago put in a bid, and the boosters of Chicago oversold the city of how great it was. And so the people from New York said, oh, those Chicago politicians, that Windy City, because it was the wind coming out of the politician's mouth, but it stuck. And then Chicago gets a lot of wind that comes off the lake and the tall buildings. So usually when you're Chicago downtown on a cold day, the wind's blowing down the Sears Tower and you're like, man, this is a windy city. So it works on multiple levels. Just like the Big Apple. Why is New York called the Big Apple? You know? I guess we're the Little Apple. Or we're not even an apple. We're like a tangerine or something. But here's Chicago, Illinois. Here's the Bomber Chocolate Factory. There it is. No smell of chocolate. You got this little park here. There's the Sears Tower. So we're heading west, and we're going to head northwest here. West by northwest. Where's Ice? JJ, we're sending him to your house. JJ, we're gonna call the hotline. You can report me. I have ancestors that have been in this country since the beginning of time. I'm an American. I was born here. Why is everybody obsessed with ICE? The government's going to shut down. The government's shut down, but it's not going to stop ICE. But they are pulling out of. They're limiting their operations in Minneapolis. So I know you don't want to call that a retreat because it's going to come back and pop up in some other city. They might be coming back to Chicago. So you can taunt us a second time. Americans like it when liberals get harassed in America. They like that. They're going to round up the liberals next. But here's, see, 50 degrees, people jogging in shorts. Here's Des Plaines, Milwaukee, Kinsey Street. Here, let's cross the street. Oh, look, there it is. So that's the hotel. That's what I want to see. So this is the new Bally's Hotel for the casino. Look how you can look straight up Des Plaines here. And there it is. Look at that. So we're going to head over there. So we're going to cross Milwaukee. No, this is Des Plaines. This is Milwaukee. And we're going to head up to Halstead. So we're going to get a closer view of that. Actually, if I walk this way, there's some interesting street art. Let's see if the street art's still over here. So it's going to be called the Bally's. It's going to be the hotel for the Bally's Casino. Bally's is a casino just like in Las Vegas and Atlantic City. They're building Chicago approved one casino permanently, and they won the bid. And it was controversial, the site they picked, but it's across from the Montgomery Wards. And everything's controversial. They painted over. You see why I film these murals? You see why I film these murals? They're all gone. So I'll have to go to my archives. We have archives of what all this, they painted over all this street art. It's all gone. And that's why I filmed it and documented all that work of those artists. And it's gone, baby, gone. Nothing lasts. Here's, you can see the remnants of it there. But here's some of the street art along the metro tracks that go for miles. You see it over here on Hubbard Street, and you see it on 16th Street in Pilsen. Here's the City Hall pool hall. If you want to, like the color money, they got a bunch of pool tables in here. You can be a pool shark. We used to shoot pool here. City Hall pool hall. Look at this place, it's great. So there, that's new housing. We walked over there. That's in the West Loop. That's new housing north of Fulton Market. Yeah, I saw the video of a guy was robbed in broad daylight in the West Loop on Fulton Market. It's all over the news, and it's shocking to people because they drew guns on the guy right in broad daylight on a major street. A lot of people filmed it, and then people get to make fun of Chicago because that's what they see of Chicago, and it's so embarrassing that there is crime. And so at the same time, I got people that are like, thank President Trump for making crime less in Chicago. And people are still getting mugged on the street. And they'll blame our mayor, but they won't blame the president. And it's just interesting. Because the president isn't the president of all of us. He's only the president of some of us. Here's, look at this. Look, so at least this graffiti's still here. So we're in the alley behind the City Hall pool hall. And here's some of the street art that still remains. I want to document this because one day we might come here and this will all be painted over too. Here, let's get this. There's a metro train coming through here. Hold on. Now we can't see it anyway. It's on the other side. Can we see it? I can't. I'm too close to the tracks here. There it is. So there's the metro train going through there. We just missed it. Chicago, Illinois, United States of America, planet Earth. We'll head over to Grand Avenue here. There's Mr. Fungi. There, look at this. And this is interesting because it's a brick alley underneath the metro tracks. And it still has the brick cobblestone. All this interesting, I think Mr. Fungi's from, Kempe's from Indianapolis. People go to different cities and showcase their work. I think. Am I wrong about that? Maybe somebody correct me. Well, we certainly got that reputation. Even if it isn't true, people think of Chicago as the crime capital of the world. I'm sure Al Capone and our prohibition violence, but also the gang violence of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, which continues to this day. There's the casino. There's the hotel for the casino. Look how you can look over to. There's the John Hancock, the One Chicago Tower. That's River North. But here, it looks nice. They must have cleaned this up. Well, it's rusting underneath there. So here's the artist here that painted this, and this is called Respect the Legend. This is when Jennifer Hudson played Aretha Franklin in the movies there, and it was Respect the Legacy here. But see how it's rusting down, and it messed up the legacy. Yeah, Chicago, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in here. Let's see if we get this train coming by here with the Salvation Army. I hear the train going by. I hear that train a-coming. It's rolling around the bend. Look, we got the Salvation Army with the Metro train. Look at that water tower there. I hit the camera with my finger there. Look at that. Yeah. Welcome to Chicago, scenes of the city. We got a 50-degree day here. Happy Friday the 13th. Finally on the near west side. We're going to head up Milwaukee, but first we're going to go up Halstead and check out the new casino construction here. See what it looks like. Lincolnshire, that's good. How you doing? Hotel California, yeah, you got it. You can check out any time you want, but you can never leave. That's how I feel in this city. Here's Clover. That used to be the Funky Buddha. But we'll go by La Scarola restaurant. Here's Richard's Bar. Who knows Richard's Bar? It has two entrances. It has an entrance on Grand and it has an entrance on Milwaukee. Here's Richard's Bar, a true speakeasy in Chicago, and you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Here's Rebel Rye. But there's Richard's Bar. You can just buy a beer and take it to go. It's like Rossi's there on State Street. There's the Dawson. Yeah, that used to be the Funky Buddha a long time ago. This used to be Emmett's, but they used it in Ocean's 11. But now it's called the Pearl Lounge. We've gone inside there, the Pearl Lounge. And here, the six-way intersection of Halstead, Milwaukee, and Grand Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. So you remember Ocean's 11, the first one, there was a brief scene where they were inside this bar. It was in the beginning when Matt Damon's character was a pickpocket in Chicago in Ocean's 11. So they had a few brief scenes in Chicago in Ocean's 11, and this was in it. But here, this is the Blue Line subway stop on the Grand stop on the Blue Line. This will take you to O'Hare this way, goes downtown, and keeps going over to the west side if you go over there. So we're going to cross Grand Avenue. This is Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. What a beautiful sunny day here. I'm going to get sunburned today. I should have wore sunscreen. I'm going to get sunburnt in February. Here, let's head across. Well, I can stay on this side. I'll stay on this side because I don't need to cross the street. Look at this amazing view. Look at this amazing view to Emmett's. Well, it used to be Emmett's. Here goes the bus. That's why they use it. This is the exact scene they used in the movie, because you see the Sears Tower and then you see Emmett's there. It's just this classic scene looking down Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. You get these nice triangle buildings, and that's, yeah, the Blue Line goes up Milwaukee there, so we'll go up Halstead. Yeah, thanks for tuning in there. I appreciate it. Thanks for enjoying the commentary. Yeah. I'm sorry. You'll find out that people tell me to do stuff like go inside it. I'll do the opposite. I won't go into 7-Eleven. So, you know, I'm not a horse. Don't treat me like a horse. I know, you know, you want to like, you think I'm like a virtual NPC or something. You want me to dance, monkey dance? Yeah, I don't do that. I'm not even doing this for money, you know, so we can block you and make sure you can never see my content ever again. That's not a threat. It's just a piece of information. So we'll teach people how to treat you. Here's, this is Halstead, Chicago, Illinois, United States of America, planet Earth. We got 50 degrees, 2:09 in the PM. We're heading up towards, we're in West Town now. We're gonna head towards Wicker Park. But first, they got Halstead completely closed off because they're closing this whole intersection because of they're working on the casino. There it is. That's the hotel right there. So let's see how close we can get to it from this side. I don't know if you can see it across the river here. No, speech isn't free. Not on social media companies. If you think social media is free speech, they can ban anybody's account for any reason, not have to give you a reason. We pay a telecommunication company to have this privilege, to have this free speech. You pay your bill, right? You stop paying your bill, you're not gonna have any free speech on social media. Let you go get your free internet access to the library. Here's construction site for the Bally's Casino. I'm getting hot. I'm glad I live in a cold weather climate because 50 degrees, I'm sweating. Chirac. It's because we're in the Rust Belt. This is an old industrial city. A lot of this infrastructure was built 150 years ago. Some of these bridges have been here for 150 years. So think of it. It could fall down at any time. Here it is. Here's the new Bally's Casino construction site here. So let's check it out from across the river here. So there's the Sears Tower for orientation. We went under the Metro tracks. And look at this thing. This is the new Bally's Casino, Chicago, Illinois, United States of America. We got Friday the 13th, 2026. And we've been filming this thing from the other side of the river. This is the first time I've seen it this far along. That's the hotel portion. That's going to be the gambling floor. I don't know where the parking garage is. There's probably going to be parking and stuff here. Eventually they want to build more buildings over here. Here's the water saver. Here's the hotel portion of the new Bally's Casino here in Chicago, Illinois. It's massive, yeah. It's bigger than I thought too. For the next year or two, we're going to show the progress of this thing. I'm going to try to go over to this bluff here. Yeah, it looks like plywood. So that keeps people from falling out. So people are working up there doing live concrete floors. It keeps them from falling out there. That's what that is. How you doing? Again, jams. Don't treat me like a horse. Don't tell me to go here, go there. You're going to see what you're going to see. You're going to see Wicker Park, and you're going to see Milwaukee Avenue after this. If you don't want to see that, change the channel, watch something else. I'm not going to do what you wanted me to do. I appreciate you. Thanks for letting me know. If I was there, I'd show it to you, but I'm not going there. Here's the new Bally's Casino here. You're saying my content here is boring. You want to do what you want to do. That's kind of rude, isn't it? Get your own channel. Hey, look at this Sears Tower. Look at that water tower. Skyline of Chicago. What is this? Look at this ramp. I've never seen this ramp, so this will be an interesting view here. So I've never been over here. This is a nice view of the skyline too. 61 Union. We're at Union Street. There's the hotel portion of the new Bally's Casino here, Chicago, Illinois. We got February the 13th, Friday the 13th, 2026. This used to be the Chicago Tribune Freedom Center. Printed the Sunday newspaper inserts. This is now the casino. Look at that big piling. They're going to do a ramp. It's probably going to be a parking garage. That's the casino. This is the hotel portion. It's going to be eventually 35 stories tall. Look at this view. Wow, I didn't know you could go up here. So maybe someone's going to chase me off of here. This is a nice view. So there's the Sears Tower. That's the Ohio Street extension to the Kennedy. There's the Chicago River. That's all River North. We're on the west side of the river. Here's the New Bally's Hotel here. Look at that crane. Hey, you got the American flag, Chicago flag. There's the curtain wall. So there's what the glass is going to look like. They're starting in the middle. They'll go bounding up. See how the curtain wall hangs? That's how a curtain wall works. It hangs like drapery. It hangs from the structure. The glass doesn't support itself unless it's structural glass. I'm not an architect, but I've worked with enough architects that I've gleaned these things. Look at those cranes. How many cranes you count here? This is a major, massive construction site here. The Bally's Casino site here, Chicago, Illinois. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah. Look at that view, though. This is a nice view. I'll have to remember this. Well, it was, the skyline was the only thing to look at before this. Huh. Yeah, everything will be destroyed. You, me. You might as well just end it today. Well, just give up then. What's life worth living? It's all going to end one day. Yeah, well, let's enjoy it today. Let's party up, man. Let's party like there's no tomorrow. What else you got to do? Cheer up, man. You're still alive. Cheer up, person. You're still alive. Seize the day. Go out and do something. Even if it's destructive, do something. Got to be active, man. Person of action, constant motion. Swim like a shark. We got to go forwards, not backwards. We call this progress, right? Just walking around in circles, walking around in circles. I'm back where I started. Get up, time to make the donuts. There, look at that mound of dirt. Here's the casino. And I'm going to be all brokenhearted because once that thing opens, they'll be like, no live streamers allowed inside. They won't even let me use the Riverfront Esplanade. They'll chase all the live streamers away. Casinos don't like live streamers. They think we're making bets. They think I'm a bookie. We can do like live bets. I'll go to the sports book and I'll be your bookie. You can trust me. They don't like that. I'll place your bets. Yeah. Well, what's your other choice? Live your life, at the very least, if you don't like life, live your life like a punk rocker. Live like a anarchist. If you're all depressed and think life is meaningless and, what's the point? And, you could either be a goth or you could be a punk, roll with it. Turn it into something cool, Join the Church of Satan or something. Do something with it. You can make it out. How you doing? So here we'll look at that casino site. Look at that hotel there. Let's check it out here. That was some of the construction workers. They were like, look at this guy. They probably think I'm with OSHA, like spying on him or something. Here's look, they're moving dirt. They're moving dirt. Look at this big dirt moving operation. Got casinos to build. Money to be made. Build better. Mayor Brandon Johnson, brought to you by Brandon Johnson. Casino, there we go. Yeah, adopt a shelter animal, return a shopping cart. Thanks, Phil Goodyear. Yeah, it's good advice. Listen to all my words of wisdom here from people that you think this is bad. People, you didn't go through World War II. You didn't go through the Great Depression. You didn't go through the Great Famine of China or Russia where 30 million people died of famine, You think you got it tough? We got this. We got AI. We got endless entertainment right in your pants. There's no reason to be depressed. We got endless entertainment and we're still bored. Look at this. Here's the casino. So they got this blocked off. This is Halstead Street. So they're reconstructing Chicago Avenue at Halstead Street. Goose Island's up that way. This is the New Bally's Casino. There's the hotel and there's the Sears Tower. So you see where we're at here. And eventually they're going to put bike lanes and fix this intersection. This is Halstead Street, and there's the hotel for the New Bally's Casino. We got February the 13th, Friday the 13th, 2026. 50 degrees, beautiful sunny day. Took the afternoon off of work. Isn't this nice? And Chicago, this is Chicago. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we're getting another one. It's just what we need is another casino, right? Yeah, somebody's laughing there. So let's head over to Milwaukee Avenue. Let's see what's happening in Wicker Park. Yeah, this is brand new. So this is just north. So there's the Sears Tower. The Riverwalk's there. Behind there's River North and the Hancock. This is on the west side of the river on the north branch. There's the old Montgomery Wards. And the New Bally's Casino. There's a temporary one in River North where the Medina Temple Auditorium used to be, the old Bloomingdale's furniture place. Looks like a Moroccan temple. Here's oh, how you doing? Here's the new casino. Oh, they're coming out here. So here comes the concrete mixer. Hey, Zinga, how you doing there? See, so there's a concrete mixing facility right up there, and that's probably, they're really close to a concrete mixing facility. It's just across the river there on Goose Island. So hey, new construction, Chicago, Illinois, the Bally's Casino. We saw it from a different perspective. I'll cut this out, and you'll see this in the reruns if you. Okay, let's head this way. So Michigan Avenue's behind me. Michigan Avenue's this way. So that's east. Michigan Avenue's that way. We're heading west. We're going to Milwaukee Avenue. Milwaukee runs at a diagonal, north and west. We're gonna go up to Wicker Park. It's a nice 50-degree sunny day. Took the Friday off. Ease into the weekend. Tomorrow on TikTok, if you like my content here, if you got TikTok, you can follow me, Brian Really Chicago, on TikTok. We're going to do Navy Pier fireworks on Valentine's Day. And not that I care about Valentine's Day, I'm doing it because it's Grim Evil's birthday. And we're going to meet Ernie and him for dinner, and we're going to go to Navy Pier. So I don't want to deal with comments. We'll just do the sub only. And you can just watch like a TV channel, like a voyeur. If you want to comment, you can go to Ernie's and you can comment and give him a thumbs up and a like and a gift. Here's Green Street. Yeah, this is a nice catering place here. This nice catering restaurant here on Erie Street, Erie and Green. There's the Sears Tower, Chicago, Illinois, United States of America, planet Earth. We got 2:22 in the PM. It's 50 degrees, sunny day. Yeah, the Fonz. Yeah, the Fonz. Let's go to Milwaukee. Let's see if the Fonz is there. Happy days. You can go to the real Milwaukee, take the Hiawatha. It's Chicago. It's in my name. You see my name? It says Brian Really Chicago. That's where we're at. We're in Chicago, and I'm Brian Really. That's where you're at. You found a place. No. I already went by there. You got to rewind. Rewind to the beginning of this. We walked right by it. You missed it. See, it's your fault. It's not my fault. Here, Peoria Street. Peoria and Erie. West Town. We'll head up to Wicker Park. It looks like a little small sign. It looks like smaller than the normal signs. Peoria and Erie. Yeah, Milwaukee. All the snow's melting. Feels like a spring day here. Wind's blowing. Windy City. Look, there's the West Loop. So that's that new building by the Metro tracks there in the West Loop. Look at the West Loop skyline's growing. Look at that. This is from Milwaukee Avenue. You got the bike lane. 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Over 10 degrees Celsius. It's pretty nice. Hey, Milwaukee Avenue. You got the green bike lane. The blue line subway runs underneath it, takes you to O'Hare Airport. You eventually end up in the middle of the Kennedy Expressway. Kenya. It's night in Kenya. Hey, thanks for tuning in from Kenya. Yeah, you got later in the night, past midnight. Thanks for tuning in. We got daytime in Chicago. We're 2:24 in the PM, 14:24 Army time. Milwaukee and Sangamon. West Town. It's just like any other city. We're nothing special. I'm not trying to oversell the city. I show the world as it is, not as we want it to be. Believe me, no one in Chicago thinks it's that hot because we got bad crime and we got expensive taxes. It's like the joke's on us. We got cold winters. It's like you got to be a masochist to live in this city. Here's South Luke Loft. I'm telling people not to come here. Stay away. It's not worth it. Better places. But I'll show you what it looks like. It's got nice buildings. Got good infrastructure. It's old, but I like it because it's old. It has character. Hey, look at this art gallery. That's nice. Hey, you got the Simpsons. Where do you get really nice, like, old signs like this? You know, it is like Milwaukee. You got these Erie LaSalle Body Shop, you know. Look at that. Yeah, rough winter. That's why it's 50 degrees. We got it. North Carolina, how you doing? San Francisco. Hey, thanks for tuning in. That's great. Yeah, people don't realize how large it, you know, people be like, go to the Home Alone house. I'm like, you realize that's 20 miles away? And then they'll be like, you know, go to Beverly. I'm like, that's 20 miles the other way. And that's still in the city of Chicago. That's not even in the suburbs, you know. We've got 100 suburbs, over 100 suburbs. It's like Los Angeles. Do you expect Iran to go all the way to the Imperial Valley and cover all the way down to Orange County and go all the way up to the San Fernando Valley? No, he stays downtown. All he does, he goes around downtown LA on his one wheel. He does go to other neighborhoods. I've seen him in Santa Monica. He's come to Chicago several times. He's ridden under the L. Here's Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. Thanks for subscribing there. I appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up if you like this content. We're just tooting along Chicago on a Friday afternoon. Thanks. Slightly faded. Yeah, stop spamming. Maybe they're a bot. Maybe they're not a real human. It's just advertisement. St. John Cantius. Look at this beautiful church. St. John Cantius. Over 100 years, Chicago's never been popular. It was like the old Simpsons episode. They said, which of these two popular Simpsons characters used to do this? And they came back after the break and they said, the answer is neither of them. Neither of these guys were popular. It was the guy that ran the comic book shop. It was the comic book guy and like the curmudgeon guy, you know. It was look at this. Yeah, there's art galleries here. So look at these facades. This is Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. This is why it's worth coming over here, just to see the facades. These are art galleries. It's the Intuit Art Museum. John Jarrett Center. Intuit Art Museum. Chicago, Illinois. Look at that. Look at these facades. That's nice. I like that. So here's the Matchbox. Oh, look at that. There's the bells of St. John Cantius. There it is. Whom the bell tolls. Yeah, let's check it out here. So this is they got these little triangles because like you can get to the Milwaukee subway station. You're in that little triangle in between. This is Ogden Avenue, Chicago, and Milwaukee. Here, we'll head back here. So here, let's cross over this way. We'll go to the Matchbox. Look at this. Look at this. This is a nice. Imagine the views for those balconies. They got really good views of the skyline there. So here's the Matchbox. Across Milwaukee Avenue. Yeah, this is a really skinny bar here, the Matchbox. Friday the 13th. Let's cross Ogden Avenue here. We got the light. So this heads down to the West Loop, Ogden. You can get down to United Center that way. It's where the Bulls and Blackhawks play. It's the Blue Line. You went to high school here? Oh, there's the theater, the School for the Performing Arts is right there. It's like Chicago's Fame School. It's the Chicago School for the Performing Arts. Right there, next to St. John Cantius. Yeah, that's good. Windy City Cafe. There's a Loomis truck. Watch out. Yeah, Freddy Krueger, I know. Freddy Krueger. There's City of Big Shoulders. There's the Blue Line. This is Chicago Avenue. We want to go up Milwaukee here, so we'll cross. So here you can see back to the John Hancock. This is looking straight west on Chicago Avenue. And there's St. John Cantius. There's the School for the Performing Arts. And you look down this way, that's back where we came from. And Milwaukee here. So here we'll head up this way. We'll go straight towards the Division Tower. And yeah, look at all this new housing they got on these corners here. Hey, we got to walk. Let's go. Those Bros. That's a nice mural. Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Got 2:31 in the PM. Milwaukee Avenue. 50 degrees, not too bad. It's actually cold. The air's colder coming out of the subway tunnel than the air outside. Usually it's the opposite in wintertime. It's like air conditioning. It's like the vents. It cooled me down there. There, 1884. Here's the storefronts on Milwaukee. Look at that mural. Wow, I like her. Look at that. It's like a Bratz. It's like a Bratz girl. Look at that. Very nice. 50 degrees in Dayton. That's great. Yeah, let's enjoy it. It's finally thawing out. Wicker Park. Yeah, Damon. I'm heading towards Damon. If you stay on about 15-20 minutes, we should be at North Milwaukee and Damon. That's about as far as I'm going to go. Here we're heading home on a Friday. Pizza, get some pizza. 78 degrees, San Antonio. Hector, how you doing? Feel good here. Yeah, thanks for the flowers. Thanks, Grandma's Corner. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, that person was spamming go to the Trump Tower and they just wouldn't give up. And you know, and eventually those people, everybody just stopped commenting, and then they gave up because like nobody else was commenting. It was funny, but like, you know, it's just like someone is like boosting my algorithm by just saying the same thing over and over again. So the algorithm thinks it's like engagement. They're like, wow, this person really likes this channel by asking this question 100 times. Keep tapping that screen. It's not doing anything. It's not working. There, Chicago, Illinois, Milwaukee Avenue. How you doing? Dentist. Yeah. Look, it's like the ghost turret. It's got the top there. Man, there's all these cars circling around here. Early start. Oh, you got to go to the airport? Yeah. Look, here's a ghost bike. There's a memorial. Some bike rider lost their life here, man. Milwaukee Avenue. Yeah, where's the potholes? Usually we have more potholes, you're right. Our winters just weren't harsh enough yet. We didn't really get a huge, massive amount of snow. We got like 6 inches was like the most we ever got. It didn't even last that long. But the winter's not over. This is just a brief break. Hey, there's my shopping cart. I was looking for my shopping cart. There it is. See, welcome to Chicago. This is what most people think Chicago should look like. Look, it's a bunch of trash and garbage on the ground, shopping carts and graffiti and abandoned buildings. Yeah, welcome to Chicago. That's what our housing looks like. We live in geodesic domes. We're a bunch of hippies. That's where the Bulls play. That's the United Center right there. Welcome to Chicago. Isn't it nice? That's our Superdome. It's just big. That's how big it is. Here we're crossing the Kennedy Expressway. Yep. So I just use like a Samsung phone. You know, I got a gimbal. The gimbal helps keep the camera steady. It's like an image stabilizer you hold with your hand. Put the phone in it. I look all professional. Look like an idiot talking into a camera, walking down the street, filming everybody. Hello. That was nice seeing that casino. If you missed it, you can rewind and see it, or I'll chop out some reruns. Yeah, this is the Kennedy Expressway. So there's the hotel for the casino. We went by that. And there's the John Hancock. There's the Sears Tower. It's Milwaukee Avenue. We're heading up towards Wicker Park. Look at that big distribution warehouse. They built that too. They built that about 5 years ago. Jeremy says they're going to land drones on there. They're going to ship stuff from O'Hare Airport, and it's going to be like trucks will drive in there, and they'll ship stuff via drones in this big like conveyor belt of drones coming from O'Hare Airport. We'll see if it happens. Everywhere, every win. Everywhere at once. That's great. Hey, the Polish Museum of America. So this used to be called the Polish Downtown when you get up to Division and Milwaukee on the northwest side. And there's a lot of Polish style cathedrals. There's the St. Stanislaus. That's St. Stanislaus. We just saw the Holy Trinity. This is where you get on the Kennedy. We'll get a nice view to the Sears Tower once we cross. This is really dangerous crossing here because the cars are trying to ramp up to get on the highway, and they come at a slight angle. But yeah, the Polish Museum of America, 984 North Milwaukee. That's where we're at here at Polish Museum of America. Look at that view. Chicago, Illinois. Traffic on the Kennedy Expressway. We got 2:38 in the p.m. here, Chicago, Illinois, United States of America, planet Earth. And we got 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius above. And we're gonna head up Milwaukee Avenue here. Hey, we got the light. We'll cross Augusta. Augusta goes west to Humboldt Park and Ukrainian Village. And we'll try to cross the street here. Hey, we made it. Okay, good. Look at this nice terracotta glazed tile pieces on the side of this building here. And Milwaukee and Augusta. There it is. That's the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America. This is the, look at that. And this is where the Polish Museum is, right here in Chicago, Milwaukee Avenue. Yeah, it used to be. You're right. Yeah, just keep letting them say it because it's stupid, and it's just, they think it's like advertising for that candidate that I'm not going to say, and it just boosts my algorithm and it allows more people to, you know, it's just like he's going to keep pushing a button over and over again. Just let him do it. Become static in the noise. Everything's propaganda. Everything's everything's an endorsement, you know. Do you have an original thought? No, I'm just going to say the same thing over and over again. You know, you must be a bot. You're a human that acts like a bot. Here's Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago. That's very confusing. People think I'm like saying Milwaukee and Chicago. It's like parts of Clark Street used to be called the Green Bay Road because it went to Green Bay. That's the same as this. This was like a plank road that went to Milwaukee. Eventually go through Lincoln Square or Sears Six Corners. So here, this is Noble Street, and that's where we want to go. So I should have cut over here. I want to check on the progress of St. Bonafice. I want to check on the progress of St. Bonafice. So the school's lit out here, so I didn't mean to walk by the school when it's lit out, but I guess it's a school day, Friday the 13th here. We're going to head down to St. Bonafice because I want to see what the housing looks like that they added to that church. Because that rerun came up from 2 years ago, and I'm like, man, I need to do an update. And that's half the reason why I came over here, so I almost missed it. But hey, we saw the Polish Museum there, the Union Church. Pass Walker. That's a good one, Scat. That's a good one, Scat. Yeah, so you know, sometimes people, you know, just they've been infected by the sickness. They're like one of those praying mantis, you know, that's been affected by a what do they call, parasite that eats the brain and then it controls it and uses it like a, you know, a zombie. So we went to Cabrini Green earlier this week. We walked through there like on Wednesday, and I'm gonna head down and check out St. Boniface here once we cross the street here at Augusta. And I'm going to check on the housing here. Here the light's going to change here, so we're cross. Heading down Noble Street here. We're in West Town. I took the afternoon off of work, and that's why I'm streaming now. Yeah, the zombie apocalypse. It's coming. Noble Street. Let's see, look at that. Wow, see, look at that nice facade. Look at that. And then you got this infill housing. That's that nice school there. Yeah. And then that's the Holy Trinity Church. That's the Holy Trinity Church. That's a Polish style cathedral. But St. Boniface, let me cross the street here if I can. St. Boniface used to be a German Catholic church, I think, right? No, it was a German I think it was Catholic, or was it Protestant? I think it was Catholic. I think this was a German Catholic church. It wasn't Polish. Isn't that weird? It was like people would identify by like ethnicity. I guess because of the languages, you know, people would still speak their foreign tongue. And here, Noble Street. But I think they got it housing now, and it's wrapped around the other side here. So here's where you see the streets below the streets. I got a video that shows this. See, they had to raise the streets for the storm sewers, and you see this more on the west and south sides, and the areas that weren't destroyed by the Great Chicago Fire. And that's how old this part of the city is. It was already developed. It just missed the fire. The fire went that way. But here, this is St. Bonafice. This is why I want to come down here. See, I want to give an update on the housing. They sold the church and they redeveloped it for housing, adaptive reuse. Now, the bathhouses. We show some of the Russian and Turkish bathhouses. Yeah, there's several. I've spotted 2 or 3. We got reruns of them. Yeah, there's one on North Avenue and there's one on Chicago Avenue. We filmed those. And there's the other public bath, the Lincoln public bath. Is that what it's called? It was like a library for bathing. You know, it was like it was a public bathhouse by the city. You know, here's so here it is. Welcome to Chicago. We're in West Town here. They call this Noble Square, and we're on Noble Street. And this used to be St. Bonafice. Well, it still is St. Bonafice because it's preserved because they converted it to housing. And they gutted the church, and see how there's curtains and stuff. Those are people's living rooms and balconies, and you can go up. I'm sure there's like shared amenities up there. They can go up there. It's a very interesting address. Maybe you can party there someday. Look at the streets below the streets. Look at that. So look how much they raised the streets here on Noble Chestnut. There's the Sears Tower, and we came from downtown. We walked up this way. So I want to do an update. We're at Noble and Chestnut, and here we'll there you can see we're exactly west from the they're gonna stop. Okay, we're exactly west from the John Hancock, and that's we're about a mile west of that at least. And here's St. Bonafice, Noble Square. Look how you can see all the way to the Holy Trinity, which is north of Milwaukee, on Noble Street. That's up by the highway. We're down by Noble Square here, St. Bonafice. And here's the new housing. This is the update. So they constructed this probably last year. It was already built out 2 years ago. And this is the new housing that goes, it's called Bonafice Square or something, whatever it's called. West Chestnut. And there's a nice park here. Look at this nice view. I'm sure they have spectacular views. Think of the views they get to the skyline of Chicago. Over this park, there's nothing blocking their view. They have nice views as well. But here, St. Bonafice, restored, Second Life, adaptive reuse, West Town, Noble Square, Chicago, Illinois, Noble and Chestnut Street. 50 degrees. Look, jogging in shorts. Eckerd Park. This is called Eckerd Park. E-C-H. I can't talk. Oops. E-C-K-H-A-R-T. Okay. Chestnut. Noble Street. Look at this cross. Hey, nice day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. How you doing here? So here we're crossing Noble Street. Got nice bike paths. People taking a bike ride on a 50-degree day. People got cabin fever. We're all getting out, and feels like a spring day. Yeah, it is old. This has been here for a long time, at least 150 years. If I do the rerun, I'll see if I can get the historical details when it was built and stuff that happened here. Hey, St. Bonafice. Oh, the car's coming out good. Good. So here they're There's St. Bonafice. There it is. Good, good, good. So hey, that's how the alleys work. So somebody was coming out of the alley and he wanted to pull in, so he lit her out, and then I lit him in, so it's fine. The choreography. Yeah, spectacular building. Thanks for checking it out here, Chicago, Illinois, St. Bonafice, Noble Street, West Town, Noble Square. Yeah, look at this view. Look at this view over to the John Hancock. Wow. Noble Pantry, but it's closed. Yeah, the streets below the streets, Noble Street. So you go up to the second level, and that was the ground floor. Look at that. Very nice. See this one, they kind of built a porch. Look, you can look underneath there. Look at the grade separation. That's why they got to put this fencing up. You fall down in there. We were down on this southeast side, and 95th and like Commercial, like down there, and there was like a 10-foot drop off, and the fence was gone. You could just like fall off and like break your neck. Like, you know, if that fence wasn't there, you're walking along, oh, you just fall down in there. Whoop. Last step was a doozy. That's all she wrote. Germany, 300 years. Oh yeah, you got much older churches in Germany. Yeah, you got some ancient stuff. There, let's cross the street here. There's the school. Yeah, I guess the school's heading out here. Bike. Look at the bike path on Augusta here. Degrees. Nice day. How you doing? I like the balconies there. They make good use of the balconies here. This is Noble Street. We'll head back to Milwaukee here. Theater, the Vitum Theater. Huh, I didn't know that. Northwestern Settlement. Noble Milwaukee Street. There, yeah, there's Holy Trinity Church. Noble and Cortez. This is Cortez. We'll head up to Division Street. Look at the obstacles for the bikes. You got to go over this junk. Man, look at that. Oh man, that's brutal. You got to go over this grate. Look at all this debris. Here in Milwaukee Street, Chicago, Illinois, we got 2:52 in the p.m. We're taking a walk over to Wicker Park on a beautiful 50-degree day. Chicago, Illinois. We're up almost to that building's by Division in Milwaukee. The blue line's underneath us. And there's this housing. There's the Holy Trinity Church. And we just went down to St. Boniface. We got an update on the housing they finally constructed there, which, well, it was 2 years ago. I just haven't gone on over there in a while. There, Frontier. Scary and dangerous, yeah. Hazards everywhere. Hey, here comes some motorcycles. Yes, here comes some motorcycles. Welcome to Milwaukee Street, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, yeah. Smells like two-cycle gasoline. It's like a bunch of lawnmowers going by. It's a warm day here in Chicago, and they got their little crotch rockets out there tooling around the city. Popping wheelies. That's what you get, a sunny day in February. Above freezing, any day above freezing is a good day in Chicago. Sometimes it's 50 degrees in the summertime, so. Yeah, most of it's new construction. Yeah, where's all the gangs at? We just saw a biker gang. There went the biker gang of Wicker Park. Yeah, watch out. City's getting wild. Look at this gate. Look at that. Milwaukee Avenue. Yeah, look at this door. Society for the Arts. Polish Film Festival in America, November. Look at all this art. Pokemon. Yeah, look at this place. One Piece, card game, collectibles. Yeah, 1116. See the raised streets of Milwaukee Avenue. I know, Wes. What are they talking about? Why is everybody so afraid? I know a guy got mugged in the West Loop. It's disturbing. I saw the video. I'm like, crap. It's just what we need. But I don't know. What's the world coming to? Chaos. Sushi and Thai. Hey, he's got the little skateboard. Yeah, you get the little fingerboard. Let's go fingerboarding. Yeah, look at this housing. You can see this all over. This is like the tallest building for all around here. Rudy's Ramen. There was a electric unicycle. Groceries. Noble Square Cooperative. Co-ops. Yeah, it's like summertime. Welcome to Chicago. It's like California. Look at this. We don't need to take a vacation. We got a 55-degree day almost. Sunshine. Getting a suntan. How you doing? Hey, look at this nice housing. Street here. We're almost Milwaukee and Division, Chicago, Illinois. Noble Square Co-op. Hey, look at this. There's the dogs. Look at this. Look at that texture. Look at that beautiful building. Look at this Lewis Towers. How you doing? Look at this terracotta. Look at that, Lewis Towers. And this building is nice. One of these has like the Cheshire Cat on the side of it. I don't know if it's this one. Let's see if it's still here. Zip cars. There's a nice Art Deco building. There's a nice neoclassical. That's the subway. That's the Blue Line subway. Lewis Co-op. There it is. There's the Cheshire Cat. There's Cheshire Cat on Milwaukee Avenue. Nice mural here. You can see it up by the Polish downtown. This is Milwaukee and Division Street, Chicago, Illinois. People's Law Office. Lisa, how you doing? Who you calling ugly? It takes ugly to know ugly. Here's yeah, look at this nice neoclassical building. They got the Chopin Theater. Let's check out the Chopin Theater here. Chopin Broccoli. But hey, welcome to, this is the beginning of Wicker Park. But this is the old Polish downtown here. Here's the Chopin Theater. Chopin Theater. This is Ashland. This is Ashland. Major North-South Street. Chopin Theater. Jekyll and Hyde now playing the Chopin Theater here. Division Street. Yeah, let's head up this way. Here, look at this nice building. I want to show you what it looks like. This triangle. we'll cross over into the square. Read the article. Look at that. Home cooking. Look at this. Running the gauntlet here. Hey, we got the walk here, so here's this new housing. And yeah, let's cross straight up. This is Ashland. This is Vision. A lot of nice bars and restaurants down that way. Here's the Triangle, the old Polish downtown. There's the Chopin Theater we just walked by. And here's the entrance to the Blue Line, 1200 North Milwaukee. Blue Line subway entrance. Summertime, there's a fountain here. But we'll head up this way. Oh, they're working on this building. Look, let's check that out. So here's Milwaukee. We'll head back up Milwaukee here. Wigs and Plus. Yeah, the window's off, so you can. The building's wide open. They're working on it. Here we're crossing Ashland. Sparked. Hey, look at that nice iridescent window. I like that. That's nice. I like all these windows. Hey, they got the Valentine's. So here's the Blue Line subway entrance. There it is. Very nice. Look at these buildings. Ashland. There you can look back downtown. We'll head up to Wicker Park here. See? Wicker Park. We made it. Maypole. Metropole. How you doing? Oh, you just missed me? Jorge, how you doing there? Let's see, here's sushi bar. You go to the Gorilla Sushi Bar here, 1238 North Milwaukee. All items under $5. That's it. Get your plate there. Yeah, thanks. If you like this, double tap the screen there. Hit the thumbs up there. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Just tooling around Chicago on a beautiful Friday afternoon. Spanning time. Look out. They put this big block right here. Look at all this artwork. Who put that on the sidewalk? Oh, sorry, pizza. Yeah, mum's the word. We're giving you a nice distraction there. You're multitasking. It's good. Here's yeah, it's a beautiful day. I hope you're having beautiful weather there too. 50 degrees. See people scooting along. You got this nice little outdoor area here. Korean barbecue. Look at these nice storefronts. Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Sugar Shack. Come to the Sugar Shack here. There's Sugar Records. So you go to Sugar Shack next to Sugar Records. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, it's freaking me out there. Look at that op art. Ah! My rods and cones are all messed up. They painted over all that. They're painting over the graffiti. Or street art. Yeah, 63 degrees. Hey, that's good. Yeah, baseball and tennis. That's great. Pet supplies. Paulina, we made it to Paulina. Paulina, Milwaukee. Here, the subway's coming out of the tunnel there. That's where it starts. Milwaukee. Hey, the Angry Crab. Yeah, it was cold last night. Still, that's why we're enjoying the sunshine here. I'm actually enjoying the shade. It's like a perfect walking temperature. It's like above 50 degrees, hardly any wind. There was more wind downtown. Heck, affordable furniture and carpet. Rugs, $50. Twin mattress, 90, $100. Yeah. Ashley. Here, Belmont Army. Army Navy surplus. Here you go. Feeling chilly? Yeah, get your leather jacket. Get your boots. Belmont Army. Get your Dickies. BYOB Sushi. Hey, there's your concrete mixer. There, Coco Rococo. That's that vintage fashion shop there. Copy Max. Here's the Den. There's the Den Bar and Lounge. It's got a bunch of stand-up comics and music acts and things. Here's the Hermitage in Milwaukee. Look at this. Yeah, it's sports bar. Garfield's. The Den Theater in Milwaukee. Look at that storefront. Very nice. Garfield Beverage. Yeah. Milwaukee Furniture. Yeah, I'm just reading the signs. I'm like, look at that. Malort. Oh, you can't go Malort. You need a big bottle of Malort. Free hemming with purchase. Mild Blend Supply Company. Hot Yoga and Pilates. Yeah, Club Pilates right here in Milwaukee. High style furniture. Wow, look at that. No one's living up there? Huh. There's a boxing club. Title Boxing Club. Shabu Plus. Rotary Hot Pot. Yeah. Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. We got 3:06 in the PM, 50 degrees. Hit the thumbs up if you like that information. Wood Street and Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Friday the 13th. Knock on wood. So far, so good. Here's Wood Street. Wood in Milwaukee. Whiskey business. Soup, dumpling, and more. Big Suda. Is that what this is called? Big Suda. Transit Tees. What is this? Emporium. Oh, the old Emporium. Yeah, go play the video games here. Hey, they got Relish. Yeah, get your Relish brand. Deep Purple. Reckless Records. Get your vinyl. Davenport's. Davenport's is a karaoke cabaret type place. That's a fun place. Here the blue line's going by. We just missed it. Reckless Records. Going by the Walgreens here, Milwaukee Avenue, Milwaukee and Wood. Yeah, in the summertime they have the street parties there. Yeah, we've streamed some of that. We've walked over for some of those. What are you doing? Here, right here. Oh, but there's always something going on here. Hey, at least there's people out in the street here. Look at the nice murals. I'm a Man, Walgreens, and Milwaukee and Wood here, Chicago, Illinois. That's a nice corner. Beautiful weather. Look at that sign hanging off the side of that building. Fulton Grace, Wood Street, Milwaukee. Look at that water tower. Yeah. Uni Uni. Yeah, that's the one consistently fair comment we get about this city is, yeah, at least it's not a bunch of crap all over the street. The wind must blow it all away. Windy City. I was like, what was that sound? She's dragging that garbage can. There's the water tower. Look at that nice facade there. It looks nice in the sun. Solo Salons, Demolition Collective. There's the Devil Dogs.
Maybe she just.
Sonic the Hedgehog Speed Cafe. Yeah, look at this. Sonic the Hedgehog Speed Cafe. Here we go, Endless Supply. NADC Burger. Hey, she's got a nice plant. I've done that. I've went and bought a plant and carried it down the street. It's fun. And, you know, just buy a plant, I go to Home Depot, buy a plant, carry it down the street. Hey, spring, we got everybody's good. It's a nice warm day. We're gonna buy a plant. I'm trying to kick this stick off the street. There we go. That was my good deed of the day. Here's Supreme. Supreme on Milwaukee Avenue. Hey, there's the Sphinx. Go to Supreme.
It's like turkey art.
Blue line. Look at these nice facades here. I like that mansard or that tile mansard roof. That's interesting. Look at that. Artemio's Bakery, Milwaukee Avenue. Hey, tacos. See, it's half evil. 333. Look at that door. 1444 North Milwaukee. Look at that beautiful. Look at this building. Where do you get storefronts like this? Classic. Look at that. You got this empty lot. You can look up to the blue line, Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, we're going to take this show on the road. There's Ragstack. Look, Niederman Furniture and Carpet Company. Look at that. Top drawer. Look at these facades on Milwaukee. Here's the Metamorph. You get your tattoos. Grim Evil's going to get another tattoo. Maybe he'll go to Metamorphosis there. It's good. Look at that. Look at this window. I'm trying to get this. Oh, look at that. Look at that window. Look at that. That is amazing. So they changed that mural. They changed the mural here in the vintage round 2. Now it says Wicker Park. Look at that. It's interesting. I can't zoom in. I'm trying to zoom in. There we go. That's a new mural there. Look at that, Wicker Park. That's nice. It's probably been there for a while. I just haven't noticed it. Hey, the bongo room. Hey, Milwaukee. There's that. Look at that. Store B vintage. Yep, Jesus was an immigrant too. Jesus of Nazareth. Buffalo Exchange. Soul Spice. Hey, that's a beautiful dog. Soul Spice, Korean Kitchen. 1480 Milwaukee. Hey, that's a nice pooch. Hey, their dogs checking each other out. Here, Gold Blots, sewing machines. Remember Gold Blots, the department store? Hey, nice dog. So I think this is where High Fidelity, this is where Jack Black in that movie with John Cusack ran the record store. And there's the blue line. This is Milwaukee Avenue. There it is. Oh, the Urban Outfitters moved there. But here's that. This was the storefront used in that movie. Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Hey, the People's Gas and Light and Coke Company. Look at this. Look at this beautiful. This is the Carhartt People's Gas, Light and Coke Company. Chicago, Illinois, Milwaukee Avenue. Look how nice this is. Look at these storefronts. This side's empty. They're only on that side. Okay, so the Pearl House is gone, but Carhartt's is still going. Okay, here's the Exchange. They're all over the city, but this is the one in Wicker Park. Yeah, look at that torch. Ah. How you doing? There, Abercrombie and Fitch. Middle Eastern Grill. Hey, look at this. B. Parvin and Company. These beautiful storefronts on Milwaukee Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. We got 50 degrees. We got 314 in the PM. Hey, Valentine's Day. Happy Friday the 13th. Scenes of live urban city life, real time. Lebinsky Furniture. John Fluvog. Get your John Fluvog shoes. There's the Lone Owl. John Fluvog. They got a nice window display. Hey, from Russia with Love, how you doing? Art Gallery. Levi's. Yeah, Burton, all the brands are out here. Doc Martens. Vonna Vintage. Go to the Kama, Indian food. Greek, Taxum. Go to Taxum here, this nice Greek restaurant. Yeah. Myopic Books. Kama, Happy Hour. Chicago Brew. But Myopic Books. Yeah, it's nice, locally owned bookstore. Myopic Books, check them out. It's great. The 1960s, Chicago Loop. Get your tarot card. Old Stale, the Revel Room. Hey, we're almost by North Milwaukee and Damon. So remember when the Double Door used to be here? Now you see this? It used to be the Yeti store. Now they kicked out Double Door, which used to be a rock club like the Metro, and then they moved in this Yeti, and then the Yeti moved out, and now it's vacant. So I wonder if they regret kicking out the Double Door. Hey, got some music here. Yeah. How you doing? Yeah. So North Milwaukee and Damon, Chicago, Illinois. We're crossing Damon. This is Milwaukee, and this is North Avenue. Look at this beautiful block here. And yeah, we'll get out of the street here. There, the Barnes & Nobles used to be the Knoll State Bank. Remember when this was the Vitamin Vault Walgreens, it was vacant, and then Barnes & Noble went in there. And here's the, look at that. Look at that beautiful block here. Here, we'll cross here, we'll cross over to, this is North Avenue. There's the Stella Subterranean. Here's the Roby Hotel. They got a roof deck, and they got a bar there on the second level. You can overlook this whole thing. It's a nice Art Deco Flatiron building here, North Milwaukee, Damon. And here's the Knoll State Bank building. I might just peek in there to show you what it looks like on the inside. Yeah, get some deep dish pizza. You'll find it. It's all over the place. There's two ways. I like Pequods. You can get Illuminatis. You can get Geno's East. You can get Giordano's, whatever you want. They got regular Italian style, Polish style, Chicago style. You get your Chicago pizza oven grinder. It's like a hoagie, or that little pot pie pizza. Here's Milwaukee Avenue. Here's the Knoll State Bank there, founded in 1905. I think they built this building in the 1920s, though. Let's see if we can get in there. But there, you can look. So here, North Milwaukee, Damon, Wicker Park, Chicago, Illinois. We got Friday the 13th, 2026 here. Happy Friday. And February. And there's the Roby. Here's the Barnes & Noble. looks like here. The ceiling, the drop ceiling and the skylight is amazing here. The Barnes & Noble used to be the Knoll State Bank. It used to be the Vitamin Vault Walgreens, and now it's this. I'll just go up to the top and then we'll head back down. No, the smell of books. Very nice. Well, I'm glad it's preserved. I'm glad it's reused. Something's better than nothing. It's kind of weird how it's laid out with these blank walls, but here's look at that entrance there. So Knoll was he made a fortune selling like snake oils, elixirs, and like fake cures back when the FDA didn't regulate anything. And he made a bunch of money and he rolled it into this bank, the Knoll State Bank. He did okay until the Great Depression. His bank failed, like a bunch of banks failed. This building sat vacant and empty for a long time, and then eventually, more recently, like after the 2000s, the Walgreens bought it and they restored it, which brought this back. But then they left, and now it's the Barnes & Noble here, but at least it's preserved. And we'll head back down here. I just want to show you what it looks like here. Look at this detailing here. And this octagon skylight it's known for. So imagine when this was a bank during the Prohibition era. They used these banks in movies, you know. And there in the basement, which they don't let you go down, there's a safe vault, and they used to have the vitamin vault. And I got a rerun that shows what it looks like. You used to be able to go inside the vault, but now you can't. And that's on the basement level. So that's why we film things. Sometimes you lose things, and we filmed it while we had access to it. So that's why I'm filming this. We'll see how long it lasts. So hey, it's great. Barnes & Noble. Thanks for checking it out. Yeah, look at this. Look at this beautiful entry. And the side vents. They made these nice revolving doors here. So we'll head up towards. We can either go over North Avenue. Yeah, let's go over North Avenue. Because I don't know what's up with the Cortlandt Bridge. The Cortlandt Bridge is kind of messed up. I don't know if I can cross there. So I'm going to cross at North Avenue because I know I can cross. But hey, Damon, we made it to Damon, North Walking Damon here. Sunny day. And am I going the right way? Yeah. It's Damon. Yeah. Okay, good. Let's go this way. Elliot Ness, yeah, Al Capone. Yep, hey, that's the Untouchables. Yeah, we filmed some of the movie filming locations like the Union Station and the bridge, underneath the bridge on Michigan Avenue for Sean Connery, where Elliot Ness meets Sean Connery in that movie. Look at this, look at that mosaic. That's nice. There at North Avenue, we'll just head straight west on North Avenue to cross back over the river. Hey, thanks for subscribing, Serafino Burton, thank you, or Bruton, thank you, appreciate it, thanks for subscribing there, and everybody else, thanks for watching, tapping that screen. If you like this content, I appreciate it. Just walking around the city, it's easy to do. Got all the other Chicago, I guess Ernie and Carlos were in Bronzeville, that's good, nice day to do it. Mythical Smokes, what a nice name. Paradise Dash. Look at that. Wow, look at this artwork. That's nice. Pizza Party Patio. So Wicker Park, North Avenue, heading back. Heading east. Ecuador. Yeah, how you doing? Salud. North Avenue Animal Hospital. There you go. Wolcott, North Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. 3:24 in the afternoon. We've got Pashki. Get your Pashki Pierogi Kitchen. Pierogi Kitchen right here on North Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah. Pierogi Kitchen. Got Pashki. You can sit right in there. Quimby's warming station. Go to Quimby's. Magazines, books, curiosities. Yeah. Pasta bowl. Express cleaners. North Avenue. We'll meet you at the southwest quarter of North and Western. It's behind us. Hey, look at that nice brass dome. Gutenberg. Indonesia, how you doing? That's good. Ecuador. Yeah, Indonesia. We got people tuning in from all over. Welcome to Chicago. Main streets of Chicago. Yeah, I'm joking. Wicker Park. It's not too bad. Look at this nice. Look at these nice storefronts here. North Avenue. I like this. Honore. Lucia's Restaurante Catering. I got the phone number there. Honore and North Avenue, Wicker Park. Kira. Hey, get your fish crazy pantyhose there, Kira. Yeah, look at these fashions. Sparkly. Valentine's Day. Wow, look at the pest control. Look at this sign. That's a beautiful sign there. Rose Exterminator. Pest control. Look at that. Home of Rose Exterminator Company. Established 1860. 1860, is that what it says? Huh. This is on North Avenue, Wicker Park. Wood Street. Wood and North. Wood and North. North and Wood. North Woods. Yeah, there's funny people that stream from a car. Watch 3700 and southbound there. They go around all over the city of Chicago, film stuff from a car. Here, Coin Laundry, North and Wood here. We got the walk. Look at that, beautiful. I just like the beautiful vintage buildings here. Look at that, Coin Laundry. These buildings got character. They've seen a lot of stuff. They're well worn. Look at that. Yeah, look at that tattoo. Sushi, Uni Sushi. Wicker 64. See, look at that building. Look at that. That the top is. I like that. These buildings got moxie. Here, tough stuff. Tough stuff. Look at that. Yeah, rug classes. Rug classes here. Tough stuff. Look at that. Wow. Very nice. I like that. Security management. Yeah. Dental group. Wicker Park. Yeah, I still breathe hard sometimes. Sometimes I talk too loud and can't catch my breath. This is hyperventilating. No, walking's therapy for me. You walk it out, you know, and tap into that ancient hunter and gatherer. We used to roam long distances. People used to roam long distances, foraging for game and hunting and gathering and transporting long distances. The trails were long in the ancient world. People traveled, and they had to, you know. And we sit in the cars. We went to the auto show. It was kind of weird, you know. I don't have a car. We were a very automobile-centric society. Our whole city is structured around cars. We've accommodated the cars over everything else. We changed our urban. We used to be Used to be pedestrians could cross anywhere, but now we got jaywalking, and it's because of cars. Cars are number one in the street. They got priority. Humans come second. Here's North and Paulina. You got to have permission to cross the street, but it's organized. It's, you got to have traffic lights. I know. Here, Paulina, North Avenue, Wicker Park. There, Louis Pub here. I went in there one time like a year ago, and I felt like such a heel. They were like, they thought I was ICE. I was like, no, I want to film this stuff on the wall. And they were like, who are you with? And I'm like, I'm just a live streamer. And they're like, I need to ask permission. I need to ask permission. They're like, you're in the private business establishment, but it's also kind of like quasi-public. Here's Wicker Park, spine stability. We're getting back towards the Kennedy Expressway. Look, there's new construction here. Rooftop patio. Oh yeah, thanks for following along on Google Earth. That's a good way to do it. Thanks, Ron's knowing. If you could pull up Google Earth, that's why I usually give my intersection, like we're east of Paulina on North Avenue, and you can see the address is like 1631. You could type in 1631 North Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, and it'll take you right. You can turn on the 3D, and yeah, like you can look at the roof, you can look at the roof decks, you could spin around and see what the skyline looks like. It's nice, I do that all the time. I love Google Earth. That's one of my most favorite apps is Google Earth. You could look, you go to India, you can go to Europe, you go to Africa. They got a lot of countries, and you could just like, I went to Cambodia. I was just like going down the street, going down a canal or something in Bangladesh. It's amazing, Follow Dan Cruz. Dan Cruz in Chicago. He flies the drone. I know he's back, but he went to India. He had some amazing content from India, and he knows how to use those cameras and Insta360s and whatever. Here's Ashland and North Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, High Place. Infamous Ink tattoo. There's a tattoo place. We'll show this to Grim Evil here. Infamous Ink. We're at Ashland and North Avenue here. Eat at Hollywood Grill. Chicago street food. Yeah, here we go. We'll cross Ashland. We're back at Ashland. So this is Ashland. That's south. Here we got the light here. 72 North Avenue bus. We're on North Avenue. This is Ashland looking north. Major north-south street, Chicago. Ashland and Western are some of the longest streets in the whole city of Chicago. Go for miles in all directions, even into the suburbs. The traffic's picking up here. If you get off the highway, it's 4 lanes, 2 lanes each way, North Avenue. That's why I don't usually walk over here. It's just so auto-centric. Even with the Audi, the car dealerships, it's kind of harrowing crossing underneath here. I'll show you what it's like, North Avenue. But hey, at least the weather's nice. We're enjoying a sunny day here. Cuba, yeah, see, you can check out Cuba on Google Earth. I mean, you go to all over, just try different places. Some place you always want to visit, you take a virtual vacation. Yeah, it's not as good as going there, but you feel like you can get a sense of a place. And you can go inside some of the stores and museums, and I mean, like I said, you got no reason to be bored. We got all this endless entertainment, and we're still like not amused. I know. Here's Audi. Hey, AMG. Mercedes-Benz here. So we got Mercedes-Benz, we got Audi. But there's a nice view. Yeah, see, look, there's the John Hancock. Yeah. Hey, we got the walk here, so let's go. This is, I see everybody, you know, you take a right here, but we got the block, so we'll make it here. So here's the Kennedy Expressway coming from O'Hare that goes to downtown. We're in North Avenue, Chicago. There's the Sears Tower. There's the Sears Tower right there. Ah, too tall. No left turns. We made it. See, they fenced all this off. There's the Audi at North and the Kennedy. He was running out of oil. I know what's up? They won't let like planes land there now. Something else is going on. Yeah, it's going to build into a head. I know. Something's going to happen. I don't know. Yeah, it's bad stuff. Cuba running out of oil because of Venezuela. You know. Look, you see this advertisement? You know what that advertisement's for? Look what that advertisement's for. See, I'm not going to read it out because I don't want to be accused of promoting anything. But here, welcome to Chicago, welcome to Illinois, the land of Lincoln. Look what they're advertising there. You can go to your local liquor store and pick that up. Here's waiting across the street here. And this is we made it, we made it. I snuck across. Yeah, honk it up there. I just hope no one lights a firecracker when I'm under a bridge. One time I was walking under a bridge and someone lit a firecracker and I went deaf. Like, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. There, high quality braces. Look at this drop off. Is this safe? Look at this drop off. You could just fall off and a car run over you. Man, I better stay away from that edge. Look how high this is. Is this safe? How is this allowed? There's a 3-foot drop off. This is North Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. And this comes from when this was an industrial area. This is like a loading dock. Look at this. Look at that drop off there. Man, that last step's a doozy. Here's Besley Court in North Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Let's see, we'll check the gas prices here. Yeah, it's not safe. It's like an overlook. Look at that. Let me show this. So, welcome to Chicago. Welcome to North Avenue. Look at this. Look at this sidewalk. And it's like at least 2 feet. It's almost a 3-foot drop off all the way down to the highway where you got 90-94, the Kennedy Expressway, North Avenue. We're just east of it here. I'm going to get run over. But just want to show that drop off. Don't sue the city. There's the Sears Tower. Yeah, look at that. There's the car wash. Hey, there's the car wash. Hey, here's your car wash. Look at that. I'm gonna run in there and take a shower. There's your car wash. We're at the today's a good day to do it. We're up 50 degrees, sunny. There's the Metro. There's the Metro heading across North Avenue, heading out to the northwest side, or north, going to the Clybourne, or the what's that station there at Elston? There, 375 at the BP. We're at Elston and North Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. 375, Elston and North Avenue. We're just outside of Wicker Park here. We're near Goose Island, but we're not on Goose Island. Elston runs kind of got a weird angle. Look how you can look straight down to the Sears Tower. There it is. Here's the Sears Tower behind that sign. And here we got the walk. There, let's head across here. We're in like the no man's land here. It's look at this traffic. This is why I don't usually go this way. It's just a lot of traffic. Friday afternoon on a sunny day. $309 in Hazlitt. Hey, thanks Pete. Thanks for the good info. So $3.09 in Hazlitt, Michigan. So you're almost 65 cents cheaper, at least 70 cents. That's your taxes. Cook County city taxes in Illinois. Ada Street, Ada and North Avenue. There's the Metro. There's the Metro train heading in there. We're gonna cross the Chicago River here, the North Branch. But hey, I'll cut out that casino footage. That was some nice footage. We saw that casino under construction from the other side. You can rewind and check that out. Australia, how you doing? It's 55 degrees. It's 55 degrees. It's not bad. Come on, look. Look, it's like a summer day. There's people jogging in shorts. It's not bad at all. So here, North Avenue. Yeah, 56, I know. Who's saying it's cold? Oh, here comes the siren. Oh, look at this. They're driving on the wrong side. Here's the Home Depot. Welcome to Home Depot. It's like we're in the suburbs. Suburbs in the city. Welcome to Home Depot. Hey, people got the scooters out. See, it's 56 degrees. It's fine. See, they got the scooters out. Home Depot. Look at that building. So we're going to cross the North Branch Chicago River north of Goose Island. Yeah, you're in Hawaii. That's great. Yeah, that's good. Thanks for tuning in to the warmest day we've had all year. It's 56 degrees. Feels great in the sun. I'm getting a sunburn. Feels good. Getting the vitamin D. Home Depot, they don't have the flowers out yet. So it's not spring yet. Still freezes. We still get freezing at night. Hey, Home Depot, there you go. Here in Toronto. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Chicago, we're on North Avenue. We got 56 degrees. Yeah, Dark Moon, how you doing? Cape Town, Dark Moon. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, look. So we'll get a nice view of the skyline of Chicago here from the North Avenue Bridge. There used to be a Basque Bridge here. They removed it in the late 90s, early 2000s and replaced it with this cable-stayed suspension type bridge, but it's really a cable-stayed bridge. And it looks nice. They light it up at night. It has a nice skyline view. That's Goose Island there. So you see there's a turning basin where they could turn around the barges. And the Goose Island is, the river splits and comes back together. And they built a small business incubator there. And there's some industrial stuff. We'll have to go over there. There's a fish place over there. I need to film that fish place, but this is Art Paddock Bridge. Am I saying that right? This is North Avenue Bridge over the North Branch of the Chicago River, Chicago, Illinois. And there's the Illinois, and there's the skyline of Chicago. Sears Tower's on the right, and the John Hancock's on the left, behind the pier there. So we'll head across this bridge. Thanks for tuning in. We got a beautiful 56-degree day across the North Avenue Bridge. from Wicker Park into Lincoln Park. And there's the river, looking nice, no ice. There was ice in the downtown. We saw the architectural tour boat go through the ice chunks. But hey, look at that skyline. Let's zoom in there. Hey, look at that. So there's the Sears Tower. And then we'll go over to the left, and there's the Trump Tower, the Genie Gang, St. Regis. And there's some buildings closer to us, blocking the other view. But hey, let's check out the river here. North Avenue Bridge. Here's the Chicago River. That building looks pretty nice. That's relatively new. They built that about 5 years ago. They were supposed to be, all the Lincoln Yards are supposed to be here, but I don't think they're going to build it now. Here's the skyline of Chicago, Illinois, United States of America. Look at these nice bridges. Jennifer, You Should Eat films this bridge. Sometimes this pedestrian bridge was a railroad bridge. You can connect to Goose Island that way, but not by a car, just by walking. And there's, look at that. What happened? What happened to Margie? Yeah. Margie, so we need to check in on Margie. Thanks for letting me know there. Hopefully I didn't offend people with talking about politics. Sometimes people just, people want to tune it out, and I don't blame them, Sometimes it's not worth talking about, but I have to talk about it because people bring it up in the comments or try to get my reaction, and I'm going to react because I'm a reactive person. And I know that's not the best way to live your life, but it is entertaining to watch sometimes, right? Like you want drama, like some people want drama. That's why they watch dramas on TV. You're still yelling and screaming. Not everything's a comedy. Some things are tragedies. Here's North Avenue. Look at this traffic. This is why I usually don't go this way. It's just a bunch of cars. And but it's a good way to get to Wicker Park, and I'm glad I'm this close to home. We just got to walk up. We'll walk up Dayton Street or something. But here, North Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Nice weather here. Hey, you're enjoying this? Good. Thanks, Junior. Oversight, how you doing there, Doreen? Yeah. Good afternoon, Scott. Yeah. We don't know. Okay, good. So we'll keep an eye out for Margie there. It was private. Did we accidentally block her? That happens sometimes. People have been blocked, and they found me like on TikTok. They're like, "Can you please unblock me on YouTube?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Here, Old Navy. Let's see, extra space storage. So count the cars. Look at all this traffic. It's only 3:47, but I guess people are starting to get off the day shift. School's getting out. Here's North Avenue. Now we're in Lincoln Park. We just entered at the side. We're just barely in it. And there's Kingsbury. That the old Crowbar used to be down that way. Look at this traffic. Man, this traffic's crazy. Look at all this traffic. Look at all these cars. There's the left turn. So there's the Sears Tower behind the Blick. There's the Blick and the Sears Tower. Waiting for the left turns here. Old Navy. So there's the REI and the Whole Foods is over there. This is like a big box shopping district here on the edge of Lincoln Park. There's the Sears Tower. Look at all the people driving cars. Yeah. This is what it's all about. Like, see, there's plenty of parking. Formula Fitness Club. There's really nice views at the top there. Join that Formula Fitness Club. It's very inspiring views to the skyline to work out there. Best Buy, Brody, a bunch of shopping here. Yeah, this Lululemon, it looks different now. They changed. This is the Lululemon here at the big shopping building here. This is Sheffield and North Avenue. Sheffield, North Avenue, Chicago. There's the Peter Hand. Here, I'll show you the Peter Hand here. We'll cross here. The Jennifer You Should Eat always shows us the Peter Hand. It's so funny. There's the, we're just waiting for the left turns here. We're at Sheffield and North Avenue. Here we go, we got the walk. Oh, the last turn. Go ahead, go. The last turn, there's always the last car. So I think that this was an industrial area. Jennifer You Should Eat knows the old factories, and some of these things were redeveloped and reused, and other things were added to it. And this is something that remained from when this was an industrial area. It was a company called Peter Hand, and here was his logo. And you see the they kept it. They kept it in the side. The Peter Hand, the P Hand. Peter Hand, that was his logo. Wasn't that a great logo for a company? When they started the beginning of branding, that this was an historic early branding of a company, Peter Hand. You can look it up here, the Peter Hand factory. It's now the World Market here. Let's see if I can get you an address. We're on Sheffield and Concord. And here we're up in, heading up to Lincoln Park here. Yeah, and I can look at it too. I'll look at, thanks for reminding me, this happens sometimes where I have to look on the block list. I'll see if I can find her, but a lot of times I can't even find people on the block list. And they'll still be like blocked and I can't find them. And we'll look into it. But that's why, if you can, if you have TikTok, follow me on both. If not, I know not everybody on YouTube has TikTok. A lot of people deleted their TikTok. I understand why, because why am I streaming on YouTube? It makes sense. But here's Sheffield, residential housing here on Sheffield here, Lincoln Park, Chicago. I'm glad to get off of North Avenue. It's just a lot of traffic. You notice the difference in decibel level? The street noise just adds. I have to talk loud over that street noise, and especially when you go under the highway there and the trains going by, it's just a lot of decibels. My voice here Sheffield. Nice day here, 56 degrees. I think it's the Old Navy store. I think that's what it was. Yeah, thanks Wes, and thanks Scott, and thanks Grandma's Corner, and I'll make a note of it too. And Margie, okay. Hey GMJ, how's everybody doing? Yeah, I took the afternoon off of work, and we walked by the casino site. We got some interesting footage there, and we went over to Wicker Park. Now I'm just heading home. I'm going to take the night off, start the weekend early, and work on cutting down some footage. I'm starting to get behind the footage. I still got all this footage from this week. I don't even know if people like the auto show or not. I think people are just like, it's a bunch of cars. Yeah, I see what, those nice people we ran into in Chinatown, they were like, yeah, it was better in years past. And I see what they mean, because I remember they used to have like robotic arms and, more like interactive displays. But the obstacle courses were nice. Both the Bronco and the Jeep, they were nice. And then they had the other test track in the back where you could like peel out and stuff. But here, this is Clybourne Avenue. We'll cross here. There's a nice skyline view if you look down Clybourne. Kind of. Let's kind of try to zoom in here. Here's Clybourne. Yeah, you can look right through the One Chicago. That's the One Chicago Tower. Clybourne along right with that. And this is Willow Street. This is Lincoln Park, Chicago. And that used to be the Turtle Wax. That was the Turtle Wax factory. That's Clybourne. That's the Trader Joe's. They adapted and reused those buildings. And yeah, we'll head through Lincoln Park here now. We'll go under the brown line and purple line elevated train tracks here. We'll head up Bissell. I like heading up Bissell because it runs near the train tracks here. Hey, thanks Doreen there. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for becoming a member there, Hector. Appreciate it. Yeah, marathon, yeah. You got blocked on TikTok? Really? Sorry, okay. Well, we'll look into that too. Who is this? Let's see. KQD2? Okay, we'll look into it. Yeah, accidents happen. I mean, if you run a bar or a restaurant, you're going to need a balancer. Same if I appreciate people helping me out. It's just, you got to have blockers, you know. It's just not that we're against, it's just sometimes you just need to bring order to the chat. You know, especially in this, and I do it to myself because I talk about politics. And it's very hard. And here, Willow Street and Bissell here. Yeah, let's head up Bissell. That's where we want to go. Oysters on the truck? Yeah, you in the mood for oysters? Yeah. Get some seafood. But hey, Bissell Street. So now we're to the nice, quiet, tree-lined streets of Lincoln Park. And calm down. I'm not so anxious there. All that traffic. High sidewalks fall off and break my neck. Here's Bissell Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We got 56 degrees. Beautiful day. The warmest day of the year so far. Snow's melting. Smell grills. People are grilling out. You can walk around without a coat on. People jogging in shorts. It's nice. There's the train. You hear that train a-coming. Oh, it's coming out of the subway. That's it was the red line going down into the subway. That's what that is. So here, Bissell Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Camera Street. Cape Town. Oh yeah, Cape Town's beautiful. You got beautiful terrain. Yeah, South Africa. Here's we're in Chicago. We're so flat in Chicago. It's just flat, and the lake's flat. Everything's flat. Here's look at this beautiful house here, and see the raised streets. Even in Lincoln Park, Bissell, they had to raise the streets here. 1838 Bissell Street. We're north of Willow. No, is that what that was? No. Yeah, Willow Street. Hey, look, the sun hitting these sides. You got a garage. So yeah, you go up over the garage. That's how you get up. Afternoon. Shameless, yeah. So Shameless was filmed in Chicago. We've gone down there. It's on the west side. They said in the show it was the backyards, but it was really in Lawndale. And you take the pink line, and it's on the west side, north of Little Village. It's 21st Street in Homan. That's where the Shameless house is. That's where V's house is. We filmed them both. Now, Sheila's house is like a little bit over, but it's near the L tracks, and we filmed Sheila's house too, which used Shameless. Some of these look similar. Yeah, this looks a little bit more like this is not its typical Lincoln Park housing. That's why I like Bissell Street. It's very varied over here. This is like older And that's new infill over there. A very charming street here. Bissell Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Nice. See, it was very walkable. They used to be storefronts on these corners. And there used to be more stops on the train, but they got rid of some of the stations. And then they got these little squares. And they closed off the street here. But then, look at that. So here, let's hit the train going by. Here's the elevated train here in Chicago. That's the brown line heading south to the wood. There's the red line. Look, so there's the brown line on top of a red line. The red line's heading down into the subway tunnel. And that's where the red line splits from the brown and goes into subway here. We're in Lincoln Park here, Bissell Street. And we're at like, is this Wisconsin Street? Hey, Jesus Louise. Here's Jesus Louise. Let's check out Jesus Louise here. I'm going to slip and fall. Ice here. Look at this. Jesus Louise. Look at that alien. I like that. There's this creepy gate. They got graffiti in there. There's the squirrel. How you doing there, squirrel? Is this your park? You got a nice little park here, squirrel. Here's the squirrel that lives by the L tracks. Hey, you enjoying this nice day? There's a squirrel. Hey, we'll get another train coming by here. Ugh. There it is. So there's the red line heading out of the subway tunnel. It's see how it's ramping up, and it goes in the center, and it goes down the subway tunnel here. The red line underneath the brown and purple line. There we go. There's the. Hey, look at that. They're racing. Brown line's gonna win. Hey, trains, planes, and automobiles. Bissell Street, here we go. Yeah, Bissell in Wisconsin. Look at this beautiful building there. There's your sun setting over the L tracks. Bissell in Wisconsin. Yeah, friends for the squirrel. Yeah, thanks for the gift there, Katie. KQD2. Yeah, so this is a very active portion of the elevated tracks. We got the red, purple, and brown lines all run during this stretch. And so, yeah, probably once every 10 minutes this time of the day, or 15 minutes, yeah. And you got 3 chances to get trains within that. And but the purple line doesn't run on weekends through here. It only runs up in Evanston, and so it's less service on weekends and late at night. Only the red line runs 24 hours. The brown and purple do not, as far as I know. And I think only the blue line is the only one. They're talking of making the orange line 24 hours because it goes to Midway, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So look into that. But here we're in Chicago, Bissell Street, Lincoln Park. Look at that. Look at these facades. Look at the sun hitting. We got a beautiful 56-degree day here. We got 4:02 in the PM. We're just tootling around the city here. How's my battery doing? I'm down to 19%. So we're getting pretty low. So if I suddenly go dark, it's because my battery's about out. So we'll run it out here. It shows you there'd be no way I could go this long on one battery on TikTok. TikTok takes more battery. I don't know why. It's a heavier footprint. So all the spying in the background. YouTube does it too, but they do it more efficiently. Here's, hey, look at the mushrooms. Hey, look at the little caterpillar, the turtles, the bugs. Yeah, mushrooms. Yeah, Bissell Street, Lincoln Park. Happy Friday, Friday the 13th. We made it almost. See if we can make it through the day. Didn't stub my toe yet. Knock on wood. Got my rabbit's foot. 1952 Bissell Street, Chicago, Illinois. We're almost to Armitage, 2000 North. Armitage, stop on the brown and purple line. The red line doesn't stop here, but there's a station. There's that hardware store, Armitage Hardware. Thanks. Whatever that was, thanks. It flashed across the screen, then it's gone. So, appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your support. Here's Armitage. Yeah, thanks, John. Appreciate it. Hey, look at these beautiful turrets. Yeah, this nice commercial strip. Yeah, Bissell Street. We'll cross Armitage here. Peruvian collection, Armitage hardware store. We'll get a nice view to the train station, Bissell, Lincoln Park, Chicago. My favorite stretches here. Yeah, we'll cross the street after this. Okay, good. There, train's pulling in the station here, Armitage. There it is. There's the Purple Line Express heading through the Armitage station here, Chicago, Illinois. Look at that. The sun setting through the train. Here, look at these stores here. Frankie's Bikinis. Look at these beautiful storefronts. Look at this. This is an historic district. It's a commercial block here in Chicago, Armitage. I can't zoom in. There we go. And so the Old Town School of Folk Music is right there, the Aldine building. I don't want to walk down there, but there, look at these beautiful storefronts. Lincoln Park, Chicago, Armitage and Bissell. There's the Purple Line pulling out of the station. The sun flickering through the windows. Oh, blinded by the light. We're blinded by the light. Oh, look at that. There goes the train. There goes the red line. The sun setting over the red line. There, you're going to be blinded again. You ready? Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in and get the sun. We'll get the sun coming. It's going to get blasted by the laser here. You ready? Get ready. Here we go. Let's see if it works. Here comes the sun. Oh, setting over the tracks. There it is. So let's go. There's your sunset. 406 sunset. Yeah, did you see that? We're blinded by the light. Hey, the Dibby bikes. Hey, new construction on Bissell Street, Chicago, Illinois. Look how big those bricks are. There's some big bricks here. Hey, look at the sun hitting those buildings there. Wow. There, yeah, new construction. Yeah, here's the train there. There we go. Look, you can look right through there. Look at that. You can look through the steps. There's the train. Yeah, these people's back windows back right up to the train on Bissell Street. Wow, look at that workman's cottage. That's nice. Lincoln Park. That's a cutie. Look at that house. Newark. Hey, Newark's fine. There's nothing wrong with Newark. There's any good live streamers in Newark? I know a lot of. I watched a lot of the New York live streamers. I have seen people stream in New Jersey. Christopher Dotson streams in New Jersey sometimes. I don't know if that'd be just Newark. Yeah, Chicago. Rent's too much, yeah. It's too expensive. My battery's dropping fast, so we'll stream as long as we can here. Here, look at this nice balcony that jets out here, Lincoln Park, Chicago. My battery's down to 12%. I could try to switch the other phone, but it doesn't work all the time. And sometimes I have to start a new live, and it's not worth it at this point. My tongue is cleaving to my mouth. I'm dehydrated. I'm starting to hallucinate here. Makes the live stream more interesting. Constant stream of consciousness. I'll start turning into Hunter S. Thompson here. Here's, wow, look at this Italianate. Look how, this side's black, this side's white. Or it's cream color, look at that. Yeah, look at that, I like that. Here, Dickens Street. Here comes another train here, so we'll see here comes the train coming through here, Dickens Street. Very nice. There it is. Hey, look at this window bay. Wow, that's nice. Dickens Street at Bissell, Wicker Park, Chicago. North Lawndale. Hey, Daryl, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in there. Very good. So let's see if my comments are working here. So this is one of my most favorite stretches of Bissell Street. These are the 4 flats and 6 flats and 9 flats, and there's the elevated trains they're going behind. And they lost their backyards. That's where the alley and the elevated track runs there. That's the red line heading south here, Chicago, Illinois. Bissell Street, Friday the 13th, 56 degrees, very nice. Look at the sun hitting these buildings. You hear the sound of the train. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, there it is. That's the purple line. Scenes and sounds of the city. But look at these beautiful 4 flats, 6 flats, and whatever flats. They got these symmetrical mirrored facades with the cornices, and both sides of the streets are lined with it. Bissell Street, trees. Netherlands, how you doing there? Yeah, thanks for checking out Chicago. Look at this. Look at that. This is about the best interesting architecture we get here. Look at that. Look at the, yeah, there's the train. There's the purple line. There's a purple line heading north, going up to Evanston. It's like the train's running through the buildings. You get used to it. That allows you to sleep at night. It's like the Blues Brothers. So my battery's about out. So my battery's at 5%. So my live's going to end here. So we'll try to get you up to Webster here. We'll go by the Home Slice. The Home Slice is, I bet you people are sitting outside here, pizza place, or it's a bar or two. And this is Bissell Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Thanks everybody. Thanks mods or everybody, the regulars, and for checking them evil. And we'll wish Green Mill a happy birthday tomorrow. Happy Friday the 13th.